To be considered a robot, an automaton doesn't have to look like a human being or do what living creatures do. Take our cell phones, for example. Many count them as robots. In a scientist's eyes, any electromagnetic or programmable machine that can carry out our daily chores for us is a robot. Ali Meghdari is a robotics scientist who had trained many students at Iran's Ivy League Sharif University of Technology. I sat down with him in one of the workshops at the university and started out by asking him his definition of robots.
Robot is an entity that when is placed in an environment is able to plan, think, and act. Just like a human being. When you enter a classroom or an area, you first plan, then think, and then act. Or you first think, plan, and then act. The robots that are available today are mostly capable of doing any of these items that I talked about.
It hasn't been long since robots were introduced to the world. The science of robotics continues to hit new highs, and news of new achievements by engineers and scientists in making robots with new capabilities is an almost daily occurrence. As a science, robotics is new to Iran too. It was first introduced to the country less than 30 years ago.
In Iran, the robotics study started in early 1988, actually. Just when I got back from the United States, after I finished my PhD, and I entered Iran and started my job as an assistant professor at the Sharif University of Technology at the time. I was asked by the authorities at the time to develop a robotic laboratory and robotic courses in Iran. So I actually was the one who was first wrote the syllabus for a graduate course in robotics and started a program at Sharif. It has been going on for over 28 years now. And during all these years, we have been doing very many projects in different areas of robotics. And for the past almost 14 years, our university has been recognized by the Ministry of Higher Education in Iran as a center of excellence in design robotics and automation.
My dad, I think he had a heart attack.
One of the most important objectives of the robot's makers is to employ them in helping people who need medical care and in education. An automaton like that will have to recognize language and be informed about illnesses. In some cases, it has to be able to monitor vital signs and inform the medical caregivers. It should also be able to give advice to patients or students. One of Professor Meghdari's colleagues specializes in social robotics. I asked her about social robotics and its applications.
We did social robotics in different projects, which was involved with kids. Our first project was actually conducted in junior high in Tehran, one of the schools in Tehran. And we tried to help the teachers, English teachers, to teach English much easier. And one of my grad students, Ms. Qazi Saidi, is going to elaborate on the project because we did very great results in that school. And then we moved to other projects like just teaching and educating autistic children. And then we did the same with just patients with cancer. We tried to reduce anxiety, distress among kids with cancer. We did it in Mahd Hospital, and again, we got very good results. Actually, our group was pioneering Iran in all fields, and in cancer project, we actually were pioneering the world. And when we presented our result in Australia, in Sydney University, we got the Best Paper Award in the world in 2014.
While at Sharif University, we met Amin, a humanoid that came into being with the help of a linguistics major for the purpose of teaching languages. The aim of the project was to reduce stress and anxiety among language learners.
I'm a graduate student in applied linguistics at Sharif University of Technology. My project was about using and applying humanoid robots in the language learning classroom. Well, when we first started out, we wanted to see what the major problem was in the language classroom. Students couldn't learn very well. They had high anxiety, low motivation. So we decided to use a new kind of technology, and that new technology was a humanoid robot as a teaching assistant in the classroom. Well, what the results showed after Nima came to the class showed that in the long run, the students had low level of anxiety, and so naturally they learned better, higher motivation.
After all that, it was now time to hear the teacher assistant talk.
Are you a student there? Do you study at Sharif University? Yes?
No, I'm a teaching assistant.
Oh, right.
I help out the English teacher in the class.
So you're actually a TA at Sharif, right? Right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Another humanoid we met was made to help autistic children. Autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder characterized by impaired social interaction, verbal and nonverbal communication, and restricted and repetitive behavior. If you've seen the 1988 drama film starring Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman, you've seen enough. Of every 60 to 70 live births in the world, one is autistic.
I'm a PhD candidate at Sharif University of Technology. I used humanoid robots to treatment of children with autism in Iran, and I have started my project 2 years ago. We have designed some therapeutic scenarios, some therapeutic games, and we have done it on autistic children during some intervention sessions. We realized that so far during our findings, and so far we realized that the social skills of high-functioning autistic children improved during our intervention sessions, and also the stereotyped behaviors of children with low-functioning autism also decreased. And we have hope that these findings and this kind of research could help to facilitate autism treatment in Iran.
Scientists are working on robots that previously could only be seen in science fiction. And with the rapid advancements in science and technology these days, it's not hard to imagine a future when robots do most of our work for us.